Have you gotten to a point in your program where you're starting to be a little bit stagnant from a mental standpoint? Are you finding it a little bit more difficult to get your workouts even started? Let's take a look at a few things that you can do to break that mental stagnation. When it comes to breaking mental stagnation, I want you to recognize that your brain is a muscle, just like your biceps and your quadriceps. Muscles have a couple stages that they go through when it comes to them adapting and getting stronger. The first phase is confusion. The second phase is adaptation. And believe it or not, the third phase is stagnation. That usually happens in around a 6 to 8 week window. Think about your brain the same way. If you go to the same location and you work out the same way every single time, notice how the brain will enjoy the first time you go somewhere, there's the confusion. Then it will adapt very, very quickly, and then it becomes very bored. So when we work with our clients, one of the ways that we keep mental stagnation from becoming a problem is we make sure that you change up your training environment. Now, we don't do it to the point where there's excessive amounts of confusion, because then we don't ever get into the adaptation phase. It's a very finite line. Stop and think about this. If you look at the last week of the workouts that you've done, how much have you changed them up? If you go back 6 weeks, if you go back 6 months, for some of you go back 6 years. I'll give you an example. When you go to the gym and you're doing strength training, do you always start with the same exercise? Do you start at the same point in the gym, same location, same bench? Start changing it up. Now, the cool part about it is when you start to change it up, your brain is going to resist it. It's going to seem harder than usual. Just like when you do a new exercise, right? If you're doing bicep curls, your body gets acclimated to those. Think about when you do a super slow, you lift it up in 3, lower it down in 3. Think about when you do, let's say bicep 14s. You hold 1, you do 14 reps on this side, hold this one, do 14 reps on this side. Do 3 sets of those. Still a bicep curl, but you're doing it just differently enough that the muscle is going to first say it's difficult, then it will quickly move into adaptation. See how quickly we busted through the stagnation phase? It starts with confusion, goes into adaptation, and then immediately during that adaptation, you're getting stronger in a shorter period of time. Well, your brain is doing the exact same thing. So if you want to get to some new you want to break some performance plateaus and get to that next level, change up the scenery, change up the order of how you do things. The second thing you can do to break mental stagnation is change the venue altogether. Now, I'm not saying that you can go to a different gym every day of the week or every month you can change gym locations, but think about when you get outdoors and you train. Instead of going from your front door, how about, I'm going to use running for example, instead of running from your driveway down the street, how about walking a block down and starting there? I know it sounds crazy. It's just enough of a different scenery that your brain's going to embrace it. How about running the opposite direction? So you walk to the end of your street and instead of going right like you always do, just go left. It's amazing when you do something the opposite direction, how new it looks. When you guys go into something that's not physically related, but like when you drive to work, you tend to drive the same way. Go to school, you drive the same way. Try driving 2 blocks over. It'll seem like a completely different ride. It'll seem longer because it's new and you're not familiar with it. But this is how we break mental stagnation. The muscle stagnation is broken as well. Changing up where you start your workout can be a big deal. When you talk about changing the direction that you do it, can be a big game changer. And this is particularly important when you get into the cardio side. I live in Florida, and so we can get outdoors every day of the year. If you're somebody who lives in a part of the country or the world where you are forced indoors because of inclement weather outdoors, stop and think about it. We refer to it as cabin fever. Get outside as much as you can. Change your venue up as much as you possibly can, especially when you know during the winter months you're going to be forced indoors. Now, it does require a little bit of investment, right? If you're a runner, maybe you're going to have to invest in a treadmill. If you're a cyclist, you might have to invest in an indoor trainer. You might need to invest in some stretch cords. Therefore, you can do some strength exercises at the house. If you're a triathlete, stretch cords, you can do some swim drills. The idea here is we're trying to avoid mental stagnation And in this instance, we want to avoid stagnation associated with the same environment over and over and over again. When you're looking at the idea of making a muscle stronger, this is where the idea of cross-training comes in. If you think about a triathlete, swimming cross-germinates to running, running cross-germinates to cycling. And when you look at how fit, VO2 max, strength to weight ratios, lactate threshold, all these performance metrics, you'll notice how a triathlete will score extremely high in all those areas. And that just shows you the benefits of cross-training. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you now see how your brain is just like any other muscle in your body. It likes to be challenged. So I hope these tricks have given you some creative ideas on what you can do to break that dreaded mental stagnation. If I've happened to create a question, please send it to me. contact@coachrob.com. It's extremely important to us because every day here on YouTube, we answer your questions. So if you have not liked, subscribed, and turned on the notifications, we would really appreciate it if you do. We want to make sure that we're answering your questions every day here on YouTube, so keeping them coming is awesome. The numbers continue to escalate. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.